All right, so good night, everyone. I came on tonight because, well, as you know, continuing the journey of understanding and really getting to know Trinidad and Tobago football better and to see where we missing or where we need a little bit of improving. So somebody actually asked me a question and I had an answer to give them, but say, you know what? I have a fan base out there who has a lot more knowledge and a lot more experience than me. So I thought I would bring the question to you all. So definitely like, share, subscribe. This one, pass it on to as much people as possible so that I'll be able to get as much comments about it as possible, because I really want to know where we stand currently with this. So the question is, should boys playing US college football be selected for the men's national team? Seems like a simple question, but when you dig into it a little bit more, it really kind of opens up a Pandora box. So I wrote here like 4 points that, and again, I don't want to go yes or no. I really want to leave it to hear what we say in the comments, right? But these are my 4 points that I start in the conversation with, and I really want you all to carry it with me. All right, so the first point is we typically take players who star in intercall for national teams. So we know the intercall that we have, Trinidad and Tobago. These are kids 16, 17, sometimes 18, 19, and from there we actually look to pick players for your U17, sometimes your U20, and then what? So that's 1 point. So they play from the intercom. Second point, the US college system is the closest comparison we have to the European developmental academies. Why I say that point is because I've spoken to a couple of players who play in academies out in Europe, and they talk about how what their day is like. When you speak to players who play in college, it is pretty similar. They start the day with gym, they do some schoolwork, they do some light gym in the evening, they do something related to football, either actually go out and play football or study football. They have midweek games, they have Saturday, Sunday games. So again, kind of similar, and is a wider pool of competition that they would have as compared to intercol. So again, that's a point to note. The third point I have here, and this is one that's kind of new and recent. So Michael Chaves, however you pronounce his last name, Chavez or Chaves, I think it's Chaves, he made his national debut for Trinidad and Tobago already. He and a couple other players recently decided to go to college in the US. I think he's probably on a 3-year or 4-year college. So is it that we will not see him on the national team for the next 3 to 4 years? It's a point, it's a question to ask. I see the Gans brothers, they actually going to college too. This is probably a separate topic, but I won't get into it now. There are certain players or groups that get opportunities that others won't get. So I'll leave that point right there for now. Could always discuss that at another time. Point 4 that I have. There was an interview when Angus Eve was the head coach, and is the guy who does Extra Time TV. I think his name is Andre something. Soklal? I'm not sure. He asked specifically about Wayne Fredericks and Tyree Spicer. And I'll never forget this. Angus Eve smirked and said, no, those are college ballers. This is professional setup. It's like, all right, cool. This is the same Angus Eve who works with intercall players tries to get them onto the national team. Separate point, but still tied in. A few months after the MLS draft, that year, MLS draft came up. Tyrese Spicer was number 1, Wayne Fredericks was number 2. Not more than 2 months after of them being professionals, they won the national team. So is it that they grew exponentially in that 2-month period, or is it that because they played college ball that's where the development happened? Again, just points to note, just questions I'm asking. Kai Phillips, and he's a player that I know and I talk to. I think he's in his 4th year now, and he is supposed to come out of school soon, but I think he is about 24, 25. Is this going to be the norm, that we now looking to bring players on after that at 24, 25? Or is it that we have players who were U17 and U20 understanding our system? Granted, they got the opportunity to go to school. Is it that we leave them out for that because they are in school? Questions. So, my last comment is, and I kind of tied it in just now, we have a lot of young players, U17, U20, who, again, have had the privilege to make it outside of Trinidad and Tobago to study, to go to school. Is this an avenue that we are losing out on, or that we are not looking at intentionally? Or, again, I don't want to carry the conversation. So please, you let me know in the comments, what do you think? And if not just a yes or no, please let me get some feedback as to what you think we should be doing differently to incorporate them, or it's good that we leave them out. Let me know your thoughts. Again, please like, share, and subscribe. I really want to know. And as always, thank you very much for joining me on this journey to really improve Trinidad and Tobago football once again to some of these standards that they were before. Tonight, I'm not talking about TTFA, I'm not talking about the 2026 campaign. I'm talking about building Trinidad and Tobago football holistically. So share your thoughts with me, and as always, we will speak in the comments, so please let me know.